know what I'd like to do, Dave? I'd like to take you back to the Withenshaw Forum, where we just picked you up a couple of minutes ago. I'd like to take you back to that. Was it an afternoon, do you think, when you fought Tyson there?
No, it was evening.
Was it
It was early evening, yeah.
Early evening. Was it the north? Was it probably
Northwest.
Northwest?
Yeah.
There's big queues outside, they all couldn't get in, David, could they?
What do you remember the night, Dave? Because you were a man and he was a boy. He was a child.
Well,
He was only a little boy, 6'6".
Yeah, well,
What's the matter with you?
well, it was an amateur fight, but there was quite a build up to this fight because Tyson had been in the boxing news. I think he wrote a letter to the boxing news. I'd never seen anything like it. He wrote a letter to the boxing news saying he wanted to fight me, to challenge me, and I was like, I was a bit rattled, to be honest, because this was unheard of in amateur boxing. And I remember I went to watch Clinton Woods against Glenn Johnson in Bolton, and you was there, and I seen you and Tyson there, and I hadn't seen the boxing news, but someone said he wrote a letter, and straight away I was like, right, I need to get ready for this fight now, because this lad's means business. Yeah, because a couple of months earlier, first time I met him was on an England training camp in Sheffield, and Frankie Gavin come into my bedroom and said, some lad's here saying he's here to take David Price's Olympics place. And I was like, who? like Tyson Fury. So I was like, all right, yeah. So I done a bit of sparring with him and all that, and he knew what he was doing, because I'd seen people come along just big lumps in the past, and they'd fall prey to even a few little feints, and they'd leave themselves open, and you just hit them out, but it weren't happening with him, and he was catching shots. He knew what he was doing, so I thought, okay, this might be a bit different. So the fight, because there was quite a bit of build up, what the ABA done, they put me and Tyson on earlier on in the night, because I think they thought there was going to be trouble or something, because there was like the police presence there and all that. I don't know where it came from, but it was there. But the hall was packed out. They all had Tyson Fury t-shirts on, and he had a massive support. I took a load down, and I remember warming up, and John was in the corridor and like walked past me. Now John's obviously an intimidating figure in his own right, you know, and you must have been in your prime then as well, mid-40s.
No, I was 42,
yeah. So I was like, who doesn't want to fight me dad if I'm Tyson?
A double act.
Yeah. So, but I was nervous because there was a lot riding on it. I was Commonwealth gold medalist, so the pressure was on me, and he's won a world junior bronze. Now, I knew the value of a bronze medal. I knew you'd have to have something to do that, and I had heard he'd been robbed as well. Could have got the gold. So anyway, the fight itself, I just got an early. I started fast and got a lead, and that was the thing with the computer scoring. Once you got that lead, it just altered the fight. They had to chase you. They leave themselves open type of thing, and I remember it being a sweet victory. I was satisfied, but Tyson come into the changing rooms after it, and he was gracious in defeat. You know, he was sound, and I was like, look, we'll help each other out. We'll do the sparring together. But in reality, he was just going to come back for more type of things. Coming for that way at the end of it.
On that night though, David, you did boxer blind to me.
I boxed well.
You boxed
I boxed well, and I watched it through the week, and I went, I did box well in that fight. And Tyson was much better than I probably wanted to give him credit for at the time, because you know what it's like. You don't want to accept that your rival's as good as he is sometimes. You can respect it.
I knew, because I said to them all, I said, look, this fight's way too soon. I said, the lad's a big puncher. He's seasoned. He's a Commonwealth gold medalist. He's going to be a step too far. But Tyson, you couldn't talk him out of it. No. Like sending a letter to the boxing news. I disagreed with all of that. I said, look, be careful what you wish for, lad. You're running before you can walk. But he's a headstrong kid. You know, and I know it takes all that to bring him to where he is today. But it just should have been dealt with sensible. But if it had been down to me, there's no way to box you. No. Because I said, listen, we'll come next year. Let David do his thing, and we'll come the year after. But there was no stopping him. You know what he's like, don't you?
That's
when I said about the John T. Wilder, the first fight, don't do it. Every time I say don't do it, he goes full steam ahead.
Yeah, well, he was telling me about that the other week when I seen him, that you said about the Wilder one, and he said,
what?
Yeah. But it's good that he's got that other voice to say, hang on, just let's think about it from a different angle.
I think you need it, dude.
Yeah.
You need it, especially in the boxing games. A lot of people in there are just interested in the lucrative side of it. I'm interested in the welfare and the longevity in the careers. You know, and if he listens, which he does, I know you might not think he listens, but he'll go away and think, you know what, there's a chance, a small chance, my dad could be right here. You know, and he's got his brother over there, because Shane's his worst critic, like we said earlier. You know that. And he's open to criticism. Because even when he spars, I'll say, that was absolutely don't know what that was. Sort your head out.
Dave, when you say you saw him, when you saw him recently, that was when he was at Allhay with his daughter that was up in intensive care. How did he strike you then? How did Tyson feel to you then?
He was obviously he had that on his mind. He was preoccupied by what was going on with the baby in hospital. But we just spoke boxing, and it was just nice. You know, we caught up, we talked about the past, and obviously we had our differences as well when we were like being touted to fight each other, but I never ever had an ill feeling towards, and I don't think he ever did towards me, because there was no real animosity, but for this, it was just sport and rivalry. It was not never personal. But yeah, it was great. To be honest, he turned up with a lad in the back of his car from Liverpool, so I was like, hello mate, and I was like, how do you two know each other? So Tyson said he come to the hospital yesterday to give presents for the baby. So I said to him, you coming for a run today with me and Pricey? So the lads come for a run with us.
No, just a random fella.
Just some lads, but he couldn't.
He had a treat that day, Steve.
Didn't he? Couldn't believe it. The best day of his life.
So did you go for a run then?
We went for a run down Croxton Park, and just a dead steady run. And we're just talking about how he's changed his training methods and the intensity of things, with, like, you know, not overdoing it with the running, or just, you know, like killing yourself in the strength conditioning gym, but focusing more on what he's doing in the ring, which is boxing. And
well, he's what they call training. He's training smart now.
You
know, because he's 33 himself. You know, and you can't beat having a full tank all the time, can you? No. And that's what happens to a lot of fighters. They drain the tanks. You know, and then they think they're going to get it all back in 2 days. I've seen them doing 6 rounds on the pads before they go in the ring. And I'm thinking, what?
And a harder 6 rounds.
You know, and they just keep doing it, don't they? Because they think more's better, but it actually works against you. And I thought you overtrained once or twice in fights. You
definitely did, and we was having a conversation about that, about the Tony Thompson 2 fight. He overtrained for that, and with the overtraining, I said this to Tyson, it's a vicious circle, because you're overtrained and you feel like shit, and because you feel like shit and you're getting tired quick, you think, I need to train harder. I feel bad, I need to push harder, and it's a vicious circle. And once you're past in that overtraining state, there's no coming back. You're probably better a little bit under-trained, if anything, from what I'm...
It's a fine line.
Yeah, it's a fine line.
Steve, to get it right.
As we get closer and closer to Ricky's gym, we're getting closer and closer to Wilder Fury 3. Were you surprised that Wilder took this fight?
Yeah, no, I wasn't, because I know from my own experience how important and what the fighter's mindset is to want to redeem themselves in the best fashion possible, and that's by to gain instant revenge on whoever's beating you. And because in the last fight he was beaten so comprehensively, he you know, it's his only way back. It's the only way he'll get any retribution for himself, is to go in the ring and even the score. So I wasn't surprised, even though he took a real beating. You know, one which he probably never experienced like that. The last time he probably took a beating like that was when he was a kid, and put in the gym in the amateurs, and someone would give it to him with what we all have to go through. And he, you know, time's a healer, isn't it? So it was what, 18 months ago now, something like that. So
that's what it is.
the pain of it has probably subsided. He probably forgot how bad it was. So I can imagine
till he gets in and gets reminded again.
Till he gets reminded again. But I wasn't surprised because obviously again there's glory in it if he can pull it off.
Yeah.
And redeem himself. But
he thinks he's let his country down, which he did.
Yeah.
And he thinks that I've got to have redemption here, or else I can't go on.
Yeah.
Because he's a warrior, he's a fighter, he's a boxer, and no matter what you are and what you're not, there's that thing inside you.
Yeah.
Or you want self-gratification, don't you? You want closure.
As quick as possible.
As quick as possible.
Closure, as quick as possible.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's one thing wanting it, and it's like saying when he's let this down, he's let that down. But when you can only control what you can control in a boxing ring, and what Tyson Fury done to him in that fight was completely out of his control because he was that good.
It was also outside of his thinking. So there's no way that's even. So that's not even a fault.
Yeah, I can't even see how he could go away and blame himself because Tyson was that good. That's why I'm saying sometimes accepting certain things in life, like he was so much better than me that night. And, but he wouldn't. That was the thing.
He hasn't accepted it. He's not accepted it, Dave.
He's looking for every excuse under the sun, isn't he?
Well, that's why you don't improve for the next time.
No.
And if he's still got that same mindset as what he had when he got beat, he ain't going to do any good this time.
But it doesn't. But John, here's the thing, and I think Dave's touched on it there. Yeah. He doesn't think he got beat. No. He doesn't think he lost. No, you can laugh. I'm telling the truth. He doesn't think he lost.
No, it's delusion. It's delusion, isn't it? And that's not good going into the rematch because if one person will have got better since that fight, it will have been.
And he has.
Tyson.
Yes.
Yeah, he will have been. You imagine for someone with the confidence he's got anyway. Now he's smashed the most feared heavyweight in the planet.
He only had 3 weeks with Sugar Hill. Now he's had nearly 2 years with him.
Months.
Yeah.
Now, I'm looking at the sparring, the quality of opposition we got, and the way he's going on now.
Yeah.
I think he's untouchable in sparring.
Yeah.
But obviously, sparring's not fighting, but it's definitely a good indicator as to where you're going.
Especially the level of sparring partners he's working with, the hungry,
hungry
quality fighters. He's
got Effie Ajagba there.
Yeah.
Same thing as Wilder, but a bigger man, 17.5 stone.
Yeah.
It's a one-horse race.
Yeah.
A one-horse race.